Is there a glut of gold in the world? Gold and silver investors have heard it all by this point. Where is this supposed glut of gold? And who owns the most gold in the world? Who is the notorious gold hoarder? We need to talk about that. Plus, you might be surprised about the amount of gold you own. I may have a little surprise for you at the end of the video. And there's many more things going on that we need to talk about. Major stories that are affecting the gold and silver price. Let's get started right now. Quick recap on the price of gold and silver. They have been struggling lately. We know that. And it's all because of the strong U.S. dollar. Yes, the best patient in the intensive care unit, the U.S. dollar, is showing relative strength to the euro and the yen, both of which are in just horrific shape. In the long run, the weakness and the dilutive factors behind the U.S. dollar will shine through in higher gold and silver prices. I appreciate you deciding to join me in Ron's Basement. Your time is valuable. I'm honored that you decided to join me here today. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe to my channel, give the video a thumbs up, turn on the bell notifications, share the video with anybody you like, and don't forget, leave a comment below so we can learn from you and get to know you. Now let's talk about this glut of gold in the world. I'm not much of a conspiracy theorist, but there's a story going around that there's the motherlode of gold hidden in the Grand Canyon. Nobody can mine it because it's a national park, whatever the case may be. What I found very interesting about this story is I wanted to dig into it and see what I could learn. I could find nothing, like hardly zero mention of it anywhere on the internet. And that's never the case with anything, as we know, right? About anything you type into Google, you'll get thousands of stories and data points related to your search. There's nothing when I put in Grand Canyon gold in Google or YouTube. And that, I gotta be honest, that made me a little suspicious. Now, like I said, I'm not a big conspiracy theorist, but I thought, is there like a blackout on this or something? Are they trying to hide something? I don't know. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on the subject. And if you have any data related to this supposed motherlode of gold in the Grand Canyon, that would contribute to a glut. But we hear all these fantastic stories, right? Asteroids, the bottom of the ocean floor, both of which are just loaded with a unlimited supply of gold. But you know, the reality is this. If you look at all the gold that has ever been mined since the beginning of time, including our Neanderthal relatives, it would all fit. All the gold in the world would fit in a cube that is like 20 meters by 20 meters by 20 meters. That is not a lot. You can't tell me that there's a massive glut. But who owns it all? Who has all the gold? Where is it all stockpiled? Well, good old United States of America has over 8,000 metric tons of gold. But even that gets called into question because it has not been audited since I was like -5 years old. So nobody really knows for sure if all that gold is indeed really there. And why wouldn't they let somebody come in and audit it? Why can't U.S. regular citizens go in and look at it? If it's ours, right? It's owned by the government and we own the government. Why can't we go look at it? Now, I did some simple math. That actually equates to about 2/3 of an ounce per U.S. citizen. So if you don't own any physical gold, you can rest assured your government has you covered. You've got 2/3 of an ounce supposedly in reserve at Fort Knox or wherever in the heck they claim to be keeping it right now. Now, one more question I have about this. If the USA is the world's biggest holder of gold with over 8,000 metric tons, why It seems like the U.S. government hates gold, right? I mean, they don't encourage the citizens to own it. They went off the gold standard. Our central bankers don't speak real highly of it. So why the heck are they holding on to it? Something doesn't smell right to me. And behind the United States, we have Germany, Italy, France, Russia, and China as the next biggest gold holders. Now, at the high end of the holdings, you have Germany with 3,300 metric tons, and it goes down from there to China, who's got, according to this data, less than 1/4 of the gold holdings of the United States. Yes, we are all frustrated with the price of gold and silver in this market environment, but don't forget, these central banks throughout the world are holding on to their gold and in many situations adding to their gold reserves. Look, talk is cheap, whatever, but look at the actions of what these central banks, what these major world countries are doing when you consider the value of your silver and gold. And I know firsthand that it's hard to do this, but try not to value your ounce of silver or your ounce of gold against these paper fiat money schemes. Think of an ounce of silver as a tank of gas for your car, food for a week for your family. Same thing with gold. I know it's hard to do, but an ounce of silver is just an ounce of silver. An ounce of gold is just an ounce of gold. Over the thousands of years, they have seen hundreds of these paper, fiat, all different types of money schemes come and go. Think of your precious metals in terms of value against other hard assets. Thank you for joining me today in Ron's Basement. I hope you enjoyed the video. More importantly, I hope you come back. You are important. And until next time, you, yes, you, be well.